Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, come in again, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Christina Perri and through her song 1,000 Years, which came from one of the Twilight movies when Bella and Edward got married. We looked at the timelessness of love, perhaps the external power and force of love. And sometimes the best thing we can do is get out of the way and let love do what it needs to do. So to trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going from there to 1957 in New Zealand. In fact, in Auckland, this guy was born. He was the third of 5 children. The guy we're talking about is Dave Dobbyn, or David Joseph Dobbyn. He started out sort of doing bank teller stuff, and he tried going to teachers college twice, and he thought, nah, this just isn't cutting it for me really. I actually want to do music, and that is what he's done ever since. So in 1975, he became part of the band The Judes, The Judes. And it was reported in that particular time of his life that he had incredible stage fright. In fact, he would stand at the back of the stage with his eyes closed. But they loved this guy because he was such an exceptional guitarist. And one of the songs that one of the earliest songs for Dave that shows this off is Bliss. This was a live version from the Dudes in Action. And very much this has been touted as a New Zealand drinking song, because that's what it's all about. Absolutely a great song for a pub. And so at that point, Dave was starting to get noticed and as an incredible musician. So around 1980, the Judes finished up and he formed DD Smash. And between 1982 and 1984, there were 3 studio albums and 10 singles. And they span 11 New Zealand Music Awards, so pretty impressive indeed for such a short space of time. Dave was starting to establish himself more confidently as the front guy and to be able to sing, because his voice is pretty good, and he was getting quite a following. I've got The Devil You Know there, which is off the Cool Bananas album. There's some pretty incredible chord progressions going on in this song. Back in the 80s, we were a little bit more, I suppose, creative with our chord progressions than perhaps what we are now. And there's some pretty amazing chords going on in here. And it's great to see that, DD Smash did have the success that they had, actually winning 11 New Zealand awards. But around 1985, DD Smash came to a bit of an end, and so Dave thought, well, what am I going to do? I can sing, I can write songs, so let's have a bit of a solo career. And that's exactly what he did. In fact, one of the most favourite New Zealand songs, in fact, is the unofficial New Zealand national anthem. This song got to #1 in Australia and New Zealand. It won Best Song in the 1986 New Zealand Music Awards, and it's the #7 Best New Zealand Song of all time, according to the Nature's Best 100 Best Songs of All Time. Of course, when you think about New Zealand, you think about the Finn brothers, Neil and Tim, who both came from New Zealand. Obviously, really much set up, in Australia, but they absolutely were from New Zealand, and New Zealand loves them for that. So you're going up against the calibre of the Finn brothers and their songwriting. You're doing pretty well. And so the song that I'm talking about that was so significant came from the movie Footright Flats, A Dog's Tale of all places. The song was Slice of Heaven. And it was also when it was put on his 1988 album, Loyal. A couple of the lines of this song: love shines over my horizon, the moon shines over my horizon, I have a lot of faith in ya. Now, in ya, by the way, YA. Below I've got the official clip and a live version of this particular song. This is an iconic song for Dave Dobbyn and his signature tune, absolutely. And I think there's a few things you can take out about this song. First of all, the way it sounds at the start. There's a lot of fun in this song. We've got some incredible harmonies going. And I think what we're looking at today is we're looking at absolute fun. the only way that we can have fun with someone else is to let them be themselves, to get rid of the pressure of having to conform a certain way. If people can just be themselves in relationships, things just get on so much better, because they're not having to hold back or fight the things that we naturally do. And I think the love story between the two dogs in Fort Wright Flats, very much the case of, hey, they got to know each other and they got to, hang out with each other and got to know who each other was just by who they are, not by any pretense or any pretending. They're just who they are. And how good is it when in a relationship where you can just go, oh, I can be myself with you. That's one of the best things that you can have a partner say to you, by the way. I can just be myself with you. You're just so easy to be around. I think that's what we need to do. We need to make life easy for each other, not make things hard. Get rid of the expectations and let the relationship blossom in a way that neither of you are probably expecting, by the way. It'll go in a place which can be even better because you let it go. And following on from Christina Perri's 1,000 Years a little bit too, that, let love do what it needs to do. And love is patient and kind, never gives up, always perseveres, that sort of thing. And so just be yourself and let the other person be themselves and have fun. Have fun. That's why we do life, right? We do life to have fun. So really have a listen to this song and really just capture the whole essence and feeling of what it is. It's a beautiful song, this one, in the way that it just captures the fun and whimsicalness of love. So official and live version below. We then go forward to 2005, Welcome Home from the Available Light album. There's a great vocal here, actually. There's a bit of maturity here in Dave's voice. This song got to number 10 in the charts. And this was inspired by the anti-racism protests in Christchurch around that time. And Dave just wanted to bring out the fact that, hey, what a great community it is, that we don't want to have racism in this community, and I can write a song to celebrate the fact that we actually stood up for what we thought and what we believed. So it's a good song, this one. It's just him walking just through the streets of Christchurch, just doing what he does, and pictures going to just the various characters that are in his community. This came out in 2005, and this song was produced by Neil Finn, so, absolute royalty when it comes to music production there. And this is an absolutely epic song for Dave, and such a great one to look back on his own career and the people that have actually made it click for him. So Dave Dobbyn, between 1986 and 2016, 9 studio albums, 4 compilation albums, and 29 singles, and obviously between 80 and 86 there were 4 albums with DD Smash, so 13 studio albums, 12 New Zealand Music Awards in his own right. I've already talked about the 11 that he's won with DD Smash. He's been inducted into the New Zealand Music Hall of Fame twice, so you think about the fact that we've got people like the Finn brothers, absolute royalty right there. So he was inducted as part of the Judes and also himself. And on top of that, he's won 5 APRA Awards, Australian Performing Rights Association Awards, and 10 of his songs, 10 of them, are in the 100 greatest New Zealand songs of all time. In fact, there's quite a few in the top 10. And so we're talking absolutely songwriting genius in Dave Dobbyn. Dave was actually knighted by the Queen in 2021, so he's now Sir David Joseph Dobbyn, which is pretty cool. Obviously, just acknowledging his contribution to New Zealand music and just being one of those great guys that loves his country and had made the most of it while he was there. So the links to that, how many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Christina Perri. If you want to recap on her and 1,000 Years, feel free. Well, it's so good to see you all back today. I trust you're all going well. And thank you for coming back or coming for the first time. I trust you've all been encouraged by what I've shared with you today. Well, that's it for today. And just before we head on to the H's in a couple of videos time, I thought I remembered the guys Dagama and Key. So that's where we're going next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.